Welcome back, everybody. In this episode, we're going to move into White Valley and start scouting the map. So before we head in there, we're going to grab some small pipes to take with us, and then we'll head up to the gateway and pass through for the first time. I'm going to take this road that goes down below the hill to get around and come up by the bridge right here. Now that we're back to the pavement, it'll be smooth sailing all the way there. I'll grab some fuel when we go by the gas station on the way. And now that we're topped off, we'll just head up the road here. The gateway is right at the top of the mountain. And we're here. Let's go through. White Valley, Alaska, USA. Welcome to White Valley. The first thing we're gonna do is, before we head into the map, we're gonna get this other gateway opened up so we can access it from Northport. So we'll take this first right turn just outside of the gateway entrance that we came through. We'll drive up here a little ways and there'll be a task here we can activate. And there it is. New objective discovered, block tunnel. So let's activate that and start tracking. Takes one small pipes, which we have, and one concrete block. So we'll get those turned in and then we'll run down the road and grab that concrete block. So we'll get turned around here. We'll just cruise right back the way we came, and then we'll take a right here at the turn and go across the bridge. White Valley is a pretty awesome map. It's a little bit bigger. It's probably about the size of Northport. Long and skinny, I guess. It's like a rectangle. But yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. I'm looking forward to this. So right here on the left, there's a task that we can activate. Pluck the stuck truck. And that's going to be our heavy truck down there in the bottom that we're going to have to rescue, the Dairy Longhorn. We'll get working on that pretty much right away once we get things opened up. This road here is very slick. Now we've reached the factory, and this is where we can activate another task. It's a bridge building task. And there's also a trailer store, and we can grab that concrete block that we need here. They also have metal beams here. We don't need those at the moment. And then around the back side of the factory, there's a service trailer, a free one, a hidden free one. We'll get it pulled out to where we can access it easily. Ooh, and we got promoted to rank 26 at the same time. We'll bring this back out to the entrance and we'll leave it right here on the side of the road for now. We'll be using that later on when we pluck the stuck truck. Let's head back up to the gateway and we'll drop off this concrete block and get that tunnel opened up. Just gonna cruise right back up the road the same way we came. Right up over the top, almost back to the bridge, cross the bridge and take our first left-hand turn. Now we're back to the gateway. Let's get this thing open. Block tunnel is now complete, and now we can use this. We can use it. Yeah. I'm going to leave the truck here, run to Northport, and grab two Scouts, the Chevy and the Scout 800. So we've got the Chevy here. Make sure everything's how I want it. Looks like it is, yep. And the Scout 800. I'm going to take the freeway gear. It has the freeway gearbox in it right now. We can try the freeway. Why not, right? I've been using the stock balance gearbox. Let's give it a shot and see how it works. We'll take both of these out. I'll make sure to turn the all-wheel drive on the Chevy, and then I'm gonna drive the Scout. I haven't driven it yet since we've got to Northport, or to Alaska, I guess. We're gonna take these back up to the new gateway and go through it, and then we'll split up and go two different directions with these Scouts. Now that we're up to the gateway, we'll just take both of these through. Going through the gateway is a little bit difficult when you're pulling a vehicle. Sometimes it gets tricky. Gotta hold the button down. There we go. We'll split up from here. I'm gonna take the International Scout, and the first thing I'm gonna do is turn right just outside the gateway and get on this trail. You can see the watchtower straight ahead up on the top of the mountain. Now we can drive all the way down to the bottom of this hill and come up the trail, up the other side. Or we can just drive up the mountainside right here, which is a bit of a shortcut. I think I'll go up the mountainside. We'll see how well this thing does. It's not the best at climbing hills because, like I said before, all the weight is in the back. Seems to be doing all right here though. Just leaving it in high for now. It's powering through all of this pretty well. I gotta say, this is pretty impressive. You're doing good, little Scout. This stuff here is pretty icy though. I don't know. Will we make it? Oh yes. Keep going. Look at this thing. Wow. It's just chewing through this snow. I definitely don't want to roll here, but I also don't want to give up my momentum. There we go. Let's get right up here to the left. It's doing it. Uh-oh. Crunch. Gotta watch out for those little dips on these mountainsides. They can definitely be nasty when you're not expecting them. Getting after it. Watchtower is right ahead. Almost to it. We'll cruise right up here into the box and see what we got. There we go. There's a nice shot of the White Valley map. It's a pretty impressive map. Take a look at it. Wow. It goes way out there. And there's a floating drilling rig out in the water. That's pretty cool. Let's go down the path to the bottom. Twisting and turning path. It's pretty wide open. Not a whole lot to be worried about on this path. Except for you got to be careful if you roll out here. There's nothing to winch to. Now that we're at the bottom, there's a warehouse here on the left. And if we drive over to that warehouse, there's a task there to recover a Scout 800. Or we can just drive straight to the Scout, pick it up, because we can activate the task on the other end. So the Scout is out there on that rock bridge, all the way out to the end there. There's a little shack. We're gonna drive out there. So we'll turn right, and then right here we can hang a left, and we'll take this trail all the way up to the end of this. There's a lot of cool backwoods trails on this map. Nothing here to really be worried about. There's a little bit of mud, but it's not deep. It's mostly rocky ground. Solid. There it is, just ahead. This high-range gearbox, highway gearbox, is doing pretty good in this vehicle. Okay, let's get that active, and we'll turn around and hook up to that Scout. I'm gonna turn the engine on and see if it actually helps itself through here. I noticed on the drive over here, the Chevy I was pulling was not wanting to drive. It was kind of a pain in my butt. It's pretty cool looking. Just trudging through that water. 2 Scouts running down the back roads. Stock Scout actually does pretty well too, without any upgrades at all. This time I'm gonna follow the shoreline, and then we'll just drive up the hill right by the warehouse here, so we don't have to go back to that road. Right here. I'm gonna use my winch button now to get that thing to drive up here. Perfect. And then right at the top of this road is the drop-off. Might as well steal the fuel out of it. You know I love to do that. It's got a full tank. Pull it up in there, and that one is complete. There's also a Scout fuel trailer there. We can leave it there. That'll be a good spot for it. And then after leaving the warehouse, we'll just continue up the road, and there's an upgrade up ahead. It would be the raised suspension for the International Paystar 5070. That's the truck that we found in Mountain River that had the service body on it. It's a pretty decent off-road truck. Wow. Can't believe I didn't roll over right there. That was a pretty decent balancing act. And there it is to the right. So right after the guardrail, we can turn downhill, and we'll pick this up. Raised for Paystar 5070. Now we can just back up to the top of the hill again, back up onto the road, and then we'll continue down the road. It's pretty icy here. Gotta take it easy once we're on the pavement. It's really icy. I can't even really get moving, but that's okay, because just up ahead we'll be able to get off this road again. We could turn off right here and follow the shoreline, or we can just go up a little further. And there's an actual road that goes down to the shoreline right here. Now that we're on this back road, the next watchtower is straight up ahead. We're already almost out to that drill rig, so we've made some decent ground. I'm gonna open up the map once we get here and show you what we've uncovered so far. Let's get this view active so we can see where we're going. Actually, that's where we just came from. So opening up the map, you can see this is where we started, right here, where the Fleet Star is. And we came down this way, came back up the mountainside, came down this road to the bottom. Then we came out here on the rock path. Then we came back and followed this road up. Right in this area was where we got that upgrade, followed it back around, and then now we're here. So that's what we've done so far. I'm turning the map around so we can get a better view of where we're headed. So from here, we'll follow the shoreline. We're gonna get on this road up to there. Then we're gonna jump over here to the Deep River diving task, which is another Scout task that we can go get right away. Let's go. The Deep River diving task is basically to pull, I think it's an International Lodestar, I believe. Or no, it's another Scout. Scout 800 sitting out there that we need to pull up the road. I get them mixed up. There's a lot of vehicles that you recover in this game, and after you've played it for a while and you mix all the different maps together, eventually they kind of start to blend together in your head. So we're just continuing up this back road here. It's pretty muddy. I'll put it in high. That seems to work pretty decent with this gearbox. I do like it. It's cruising along pretty good. Thanks to that all-time diff lock This section here is very muddy, but nothing that's going to stop us. Once we get to the river here now, we'll just stay on the left for a little ways. There's some rocks there blocking the path. We could probably get over it, but I don't even want to take the chance right now because I know it's going to be trouble. Now I'll stay out here in the middle. Oh, it's deep. There was a big rock, and you can see up there where my marker is. That's where the next vehicle is that we need to not recover, but haul it up the road and drop it off at the next location. We're also going against the stream, so that's kind of slowing us down a little bit too. Now, before I do this task, I'll get it active here. Before I do it, I'm gonna run up the shoreline because there's an upgrade up here that we can get right away before we get going too far. We could always come back and get it later, but then we're going to be in a place where we'll have a vehicle sitting out there that we don't really have anything for it to do. So I'm just crossing the river here. I'll show you on the map where we're headed as I get out of the water here. So we just came this way down the road here. Come over here. Now we're going to follow the shoreline, and about right here, I believe it is, there's an upgrade that we're going to get. So let's run up there and do that. There's nothing here that's too muddy or anything. It's just you have to be careful that you don't flip over. It's pretty uneven and it's hard, so you bounce a lot. Get pointed the right direction. This is one of the hidden upgrades. There's a couple of them here in White Valley. Alaska has a few hidden upgrades in the map. You either have to know where they are or use a radar trailer to find them, but I know where they're at. Here we go. If I can get on the box. So this is the Westline V12 M900. And we can use that in the ANK and the Pacific P16. This is the biggest engine for those trucks. So now we have access to the top engine for the P16. That's going to make that truck a lot more enjoyable to use. We'll head back now and go pick up that little Scout 800 that we left over here. So as long as I don't tip over on the way. And I believe that Scout has fuel in it also, so we can get topped off again. On the other side of the lake over there. Oh shoot, that wasn't good. I should not have looked over there. I think I might be in a bind. There is nothing out here. That's the end of that. Well, dang it anyhow. We'll go back to the Chevy and we'll go the other direction now. The very thing that I'm always saying to be careful about, right? Okay, from here, we're gonna get onto this road and follow it back around here. And right there is another upgrade. That would be the 6.2 liter turbo for the Hummer, which is currently sitting on the top of the mountain in Pedro Bay. That's why we didn't use the Hummer for this. We could have, but it's a pretty long drive to get back to over to here. So I figured we haven't used these very much since we got the Hummer. We might as well take them out and get some drive time in. So we just turned left once we got to the bottom of the hill instead of right like we did last time. We're gonna follow this road and go right underneath that bridge, and then we'll intersect back up with that road that's on the hillside where our next marker is there. I'm gonna jump across the river because it's kind of deep there on the right side and there's no shoreline with them rocks sticking out. Now that we're back, I'll cross the river again and drive up the snow. As you can see, my marker there was back a little ways. So I'll cruise over just far enough. There it is. Now we can take a left. This road isn't too bad, other than there's a few spots that can flip you if you're not careful, but it's mostly just soft mud. Of course, it would be me that flipped the Scout while I was upgrade hunting. It happens. That's why we have two Scouts over here. There's that upgrade just to the left. We'll sneak across the river here, around the tree. It's really icy on this riverbed. You can see these rocks are slippery. And there's the 6.2 turbo for the Hummer H2. Let's back out of here and we'll continue following this road. We'll go down a little ways. There'll be another watchtower. I gotta get out of this icy riverbed so I can move again. For real, this is nasty. Can't even steer or do anything. Gotta use a winch just to get off of this. There we go. We'll continue down this road. Then once we get to this area, it's gonna cross underneath the pipeline, and then we'll follow the road over here and up to the watchtower. Let's do it. This section, same as before. It's not like anything horrible, but there's a few spots where you can flip over easily. Right here ahead, these rocks. I think it's the combination of the icy rocks mixed with the mud. You tend to lose control. Following right around the bend here, you can also drive down the riverbed I don't know if it would be easier or not with this. If I was doing this with one of the bigger trucks, I would probably drive down the riverbed, but this thing's having a hard time getting over the icy rocks. And now we can cross underneath the pipeline. That's kind of deep. And then we'll continue up this road. It's not very fast moving, that's for sure, but we are moving. And then as we get up here a little bit further, watchtower will be just to our left. And this mud is thick. Damn. Just gonna put it in low and lock it in. I'm just spinning tires is all I'm doing. The watchtower is up here on the left, as you can see it right there. We'll follow this road up and around, and it switches back to the left here. There we go. Next watchtower is open. That was a shot of the factory right over there where we got the concrete blocks. You can also see down there on the bottom that there's a fallen pipeline, so we won't be able to get out that way, but that's okay. We're gonna drive straight off the hill here, back down to the bottom. We're gonna hang a left. Let's mark out our map. We're gonna continue this way, and then we'll go under the pipeline again. We'll follow this road up and over, and then we'll take a left here and follow this back road. And when we get to right here, we're gonna get the raised suspension for the twin steer, Western Star twin steer. The Scout is way over here on the other side of the map, flipped over. We'll just leave it for now. Let's go. It's kind of slow progress, but it's still progress. JAT tire pack is getting it done. It says this way to the lumber mill, so I guess we're headed towards the lumber mill. But you know how that goes. Lumber mill, sawmill, and just up ahead here is the pipeline. So we're crossing underneath that now. This sign says lumber mill to the left and factory to the right. So if we take a right there, that would take us over to the factory where we got the concrete block earlier with the Fleet Star. You can also take the riverbed down instead of this road, and the riverbed is actually a lot better than the road because the road's really muddy. But I usually do that when I'm in the bigger trucks. This thing, I don't know. Probably spend most of my time just spinning on ice rocks and getting stuck on them. So I'll take the mud. It also kind of tends to float over the mud a little better than the bigger trucks, so it's not quite as bad. And now if we had taken the riverbed, we'd be coming out right here, intersecting back up at the road, and we'd turn left here just like we are now. We'll go across this muddy bottom, and once we get up the other side, the road we're taking will split off to the left. But before we take it, we're gonna drive up ahead to the lumber mill. It's just up ahead. And there's a task that we need to activate while we're there. As you can see, not far at all. We'll cut in here, get this activated, and then we'll turn around and head back out, same way we came. Building materials is 3 bricks that are in the river. We'll have to pick those up later on with a crane and haul them over here. Let's head back out. We'll go intersect with that road. Turning left on the main road now. And like I said, it's not far. We're already back. This time we'll take a right here. We're gonna follow this back road. Only reason we're going this way is to get the upgrade. It's kind of muddy, not too bad. We're getting some speed through here. The upgrade is just up to the right. There it is. There are stumps in here, so you gotta watch out. Maybe swing a little bit to the left. That one stump right there tends to get you. And then there's another one right here on the left side of my truck, 2 of them. That's the raised for the Western Star twin steer. Now from here, we're gonna continue down this road. It gets real muddy through here, but I think we'll be okay, as long as we don't run out of fuel. And then we'll follow it back into here. And there should be a fuel tanker somewhere in that area that we can get fueled up again. So let's head back out of here, back up to the road, and we'll just continue the way we were already going. Just up ahead, there's gonna be a sideboard trailer with a metal beam loaded into it. We may or may not use it, but we can still discover it, get the XP for it. Just another thing to discover on the map, right? Okay, got that discovered. We'll head out of here now. Continuing down the road. This is where it's gonna start getting muddier. We'll see how well this truck does. Seems to be doing okay. I don't know why, but I always bust one of my headlights and not the other. I always have just one. Truck is getting pretty muddy through here, I gotta say. We're throwing it around all over the place too, though. All right, and up ahead you can see there's a sign that says gas to the right, but we're not gonna go that way. I do need to lock it in. This is getting pretty thick. We're gonna continue straight ahead. If you do go up that road, you can exit the trees and you'll come out right up by the gas station. I don't think we'll need to though. I'm gonna try driving on the side of the road here because this stuff is thick. Seems to be a little better, not a whole lot. I'll jump to the other side of the road. That helped. Definitely have to slow down and lock it in a lot through here though. We're almost there. Getting closer. Now right here where you can see this big mud hole on the left, that's where we're gonna turn off. We're just gonna follow the shoreline. That mud through there in the bottom, where that tree is laying down, is really deep and really, really sticky. You can see the fuel tanker over there to the left. We're gonna cruise over and top off and then activate the task that it's associated with. We'll have to come out here with a low saddle truck and pick that up later, of course. Trucks and investigations. We'll get that active. Get some fuel out of you. If you're playing hard mode, this is basically your fuel for the map. That tanker right there will fill you up for a long time. You know, you only have to turn in 10% of it to complete the task. So 3,700 liters, you can take everything out except for 370 liters. You should be able to fill up quite a bit. Now we'll head back out to the road. Just gonna follow the left side. And then once we get to the road, I'll mark out another path. From here, we'll continue up the road. Then we're gonna cut off into this is the log loading station. On the other side of it, there's another road that leaves that station. It's gonna go in through the trees back here. I don't know exactly where it is, but it's gonna go through the trees kind of like that, and then we'll grab that watchtower right there. It'll be something like that. Probably gonna have to lock it in to get through this part here. You can see it's pretty muddy. I just drove on the edge of it. We'll get a taste of that when we start hauling logs through here with our hopped up P16 now that we got the big engine. We'll have to take a couple loads of long logs up to the lumber mill. You can see to the left there, that's our marker. So we'll follow that. Not gonna follow this road because the road through here is very muddy. So I'm gonna try to get on the side if I can. And just on the other side over there, you can see the road that leaves the log loading area here. That's the way we're taking. See if we can just cut across the middle here. It's not quite as bad. I'll use that stump to pull us across here. There we go. Okay, now that we're on this road, we'll just follow it down through the trees, and it's not too bad. It's a little bit muddy, but it's not real bad. One of our waypoints got up there on the hillside, but that's okay. We don't need them. We'll just drive past it and see the watchtower from here, straight up ahead. We'll take a left here. If we took a right, that would take us to the airfield, and that sign says gas. We're not going to the gas. Now, before we go up and grab that watchtower, if you can see this shack here, that means you're close to another upgrade. So we'll turn, follow the shoreline, watching out for that boat. Gonna go around it, push it out of the way a little bit, and then I'll follow the shoreline here, right around the side. You can see that upgrade sitting there. Gaugeable all-wheel drive for the Freightliner 114 SD. That's another truck we would have to purchase if we wanted to use. It is an off-road class truck, not too bad. Now we have the all-wheel drive for it. Okay, from here we can just cut through the snow back over to the road that we were heading down when we turned off by the shack there. Shack is right there. Not sure if that's a pump house, an outhouse, I don't know. Looks like it's too small of a shack to be living in. Probably a pump house since there's a pond right next to it. Now that we're back to this road, we'll continue following it. The snow covers it here, but you can still see it. And the watchtower is right up there to the left. So the road splits here. We'll take the left one, and the snow gets a little deep once we get into the trees, so I'll lock it in here past that, and we'll follow it right around the bend, and then we get to the watchtower, and there it is. Should be able to see the airstrip there and the airplane. So that is where we're headed. We can just cut right down the hillside here back to the road. We don't have to follow it around again. Once we get down here, I'll mark out and show you where we're going. There's another upgrade up here to the left. We'll grab that and then we'll sneak out to the airstrip. And the road goes to the right, but we're going to the left, so we'll just cut through the trees. Okay, so you can see from here, we're just gonna continue following the road, grab this upgrade, and we'll get back on the road and follow it until we can get out on the airstrip there. So let's go. You can see the airplane over there. Airplane is static. If you run into it, it won't move. I've gotten some of the big trailers stuck underneath the wings before trying to go through there. And there's another little residence here. It's pretty well guarded by trees and fences, but we can get in there. Just got to drive over the trees. Let's get this one. That's the raised suspension for the Freightliner 114 SD, same truck. So now we have both the raised suspension and the all-wheel drive for that truck. Okay, we're gonna back out of here, back on the road. We only have to go a little ways and then we can cut out of the trees here right back to the airstrip. We've pretty much opened up that entire side of the map now. Now from here, we only have that one watchtower left and our truck is sitting over there, flipped over. So I think what we'll do is we'll go discover the garage. So basically we're gonna follow the airstrip up to, let's see, actually, we'll come across and discover that fuel trailer and then we'll follow the airstrip up to here and then just go straight across into the back of the garage parking lot. We'll get the garage discovered. In case we accidentally flip this truck over, then we would not have the garage opened up. We'd have to drive all the way back down here again with something else. No reason to push our luck, right? We can sneak right through the fence line here, just knock it over, and then coming out the back side of it, you'll see that there is a Scout fuel trailer right here. Might as well pull it out to someplace that's a little more accessible. I like to bring it over to the loading area and drop it off. That way when we're running in and out of there with trucks, we can always top off with fuel. We'll do that quick. There's a loading zone for the airdrome and I'll drop it off right there. That should work. And we have a fuel point right there that we can get topped off with every time we come through here. Come on, truck. It's spinning around. It's not time to be doing donuts. And then I'll just go through the snow, through the fence. You can see the garage is straight ahead, so we just have to take basically the back way into it. It's not a road or anything, but we'll get there. There are some stumps right there on the left you got to watch out for. Now we're in the garage parking lot. We just have to drive around to the front to open it up. And there it is. We'll go into it, get refueled and repaired. And from here, we're going to leave the garage parking lot. We're going to go straight down to the shoreline, follow it across. We wouldn't have had to go this way, but we're going to go back and get the Scout 800 flipped up. So there's a little road right when you leave the garage parking lot. There's a little road straight ahead. We'll just take that road a little ways. We're not going to continue following it. Once we get to this point, we'll just drive straight off the road down to the shoreline. Kind of have to be careful. There's a dip on the right. If you get on that dip a little bit too much, it will roll you over. Now, what I was trying to say earlier when I flipped the Scout, on the other side of the lake there, if you can see that shack sitting out there, there's a Chevy CK1500 that needs to be towed back over to the area that's by the garage. So let's go get the Scout flipped up, and I think we might have time to do that one also, get them both done. But we'd have to drive around the lake to get to it. That's the only downside. So right there is where that upgrade was that we got. This thing's definitely more stable, but not by a lot. I can see it sitting in the lake. Let's get that thing flipped up. We'll jump in it and we'll go continue on with that task that we were working on earlier. Just on the other side of the river, where the lake starts to dump off into the river here. We'll just drive straight across again. Nothing too serious, other than it's all ice and my truck doesn't like the ice with these tires. Might actually end up getting stuck here if I'm not careful. Come on, for real. I have the current pushing me. That's about the only thing helping me. Trying to back up here. There's just no traction on this stuff. I think I have a rock stuck under me or something. Yeah, these tires are not good at all on the icy rocks. Wow, I'm stuck here. I guess I gotta grab the Chevy and get off these rocks. That's kind of ridiculous. Didn't get very far. It's a good thing we had another vehicle close by though, if I can pull it off. There we go. Jump back in it. It turned around facing the right way. Try to get up here on some of this dry ground. And there it is. Now that I'm across, I'm gonna turn around so I can back up to that other vehicle. So I'm facing the right direction. We'll get this one, we'll start tracking and we'll hook up to it. This one's green. I think this might possibly be one of the first vehicles that are not just the default colors when you hook up to them. Okay, from here, we're gonna come across to this side of the river, follow it along, jump onto the back road here, follow that back road up and around, and then eventually we'll get to this watchtower. And that's also the same place where we're gonna drop off this Scout. So let's go. I'm gonna start the Scout so it helps itself. through here. It's doing just fine. Cutting across the river to this side. There we go. And then I'm cutting across again. I think I've already proven these tires absolutely suck in this riverbed, so no need to keep doing it. But as long as I stay up on the stuff that's kind of sticking out of the water, it seems to help. I'm gonna hold the winch button down, make sure that vehicle behind me is actually driving. Almost back to the road now. There we go. Now it should be pretty decent driving from here. We'll just cruise up this hill, get out of this mucky stuff, and then I'll be back up. It's not really any better. I was gonna say I'll be back up to better ground, but I don't think it really is better. It's pretty much mud all the way through here. But it is getting the job done. Slowly but surely. Just keep trucking through this stuff. Just a couple of scouts, cruising the back roads. Tires really make this thing look like a little monster truck. The scout behind me doesn't have all-wheel drive turned on, so that's part of the issue. Only the back wheels are spinning, but it's still working. So this stuff here is pretty muddy. Let's see if I can get to the side, and then I'll just winch the other scout through. Really muddy. Still doing it though. Now we're back to more solid ground. Should be just up ahead. We can cruise up the road and then we'll take a right turn and we'll follow another little peninsula out into the lake. You can see the watchtowers just up ahead there. Now we're cruising. I may have spoken too soon. Now instead of following the road all the way up to the turn, I can just turn off here. Since this stuff is kind of nasty, we'll just follow the shoreline up here. And then the road intersects again with it right here. Definitely gonna grab fuel out of this before I turn it in. So let's do that quick. Top off, and then we'll drag it into the box. That's done. Let's go up here and get this watchtower. And the garage is right over there. So as you can see, we've pretty much cleared out the entire map now. Only section that's still remaining is right here in the middle. Let me see. I think we can take the Chevy, jump back in the Chevy, and let's see if we can cross the lake here and follow the shoreline up and around. Since we're already all the way up to the end of the lake, we might as well at least try. We can go get that other task activated. This is like the same spot where I did get stuck with the scout. Am I gonna be stuck here with this now? It looks like it. Of course. See if I can get a little more speed. Some of this stuff you have to kind of try to bounce over it. There we go. Just had to get some speed going. This is where we picked up that scout that we just dropped off. I'm gonna go past that spot, follow the shoreline. There's trees over here, so at least if I get stuck, I have trees to winch to. We'll just keep following this around. There's some rocks here sticking out, but I think I can go around them. And there's a fallen tree on the other side. I'll use that to winch myself. Winch back up to the dry ground. There we go. Okay. Whoa. Careful. Now that I'm on the other side, I can keep following this shoreline. There isn't anything to winch to over here, so I gotta be a little more careful. I'm not positive if I can make it around this rock. It looks a little deep. Oh, I see a stump. I'll go right up here. Perfect. Thank you, SnowRunner devs, for putting that stump there. Let's go up here and get this Chevy. This will be the last scout task to complete, and then we'll be done scouting this map. We can get started doing some work here. Still slow moving. I'm gonna back in here. This is all ice through here, so you do have to, yeah, see I slid right down the side. You do gotta be kind of careful. If I can get positioned, get the task active. So this one you have to deliver to the parking, and then you also have to restore it, which means refuel and repair. It has no fuel in it at the moment. See if I can winch it up here. I'll have to get myself pulled up head further. This is nasty. And then, I don't know, I guess I'm gonna pull it over the rocks. Nah, I'll get over here and grab onto it. There we go. Now that we've got it out to the road, we'll just pull it up the road, back over to by the garage. We'll have to swing into the garage and get a service trailer that we can repair and refuel this thing before we turn it in. Come to think of it, might be able to deliver it to the parking first and then take it to the garage and restore it over there. Not sure if it has to be done in a specific order or not, but we can find out. So we're just following the road that was right next to where we picked it up. And as you can see, this is where we're at. The task is called Out of Fuel. Garage is over here. We're just gonna follow this road right in front of us, right up to the parking. I have a broken headlight again. It's the other side now. They don't last very long in this truck. Just went through the garage not long ago, got them repaired. Broken again. We can cut across the ice here, save a little bit of time instead of driving around this muddy path. As long as we can get through here with these tires. It's not any traction at all. The truck behind us probably has more traction than this one. I'm gonna try to get some speed and then grab it, give it a yank. That's working. Do that again, get some speed, grab it, and then winch it up. You can also put some of your fuel in that truck behind you to help it drive. I'm just gonna hold the winch button. Get up the hill a little ways and then I'll grab it again. Seems to be working. Let's experiment with this. We're gonna run it over to the parking and see what happens after we take it back out. So the parking is this road that's right next to the garage. The garage is over there. So we'll drag it in here. Okay, yeah, so now we can pull it to the garage to restore it. Instead of bringing a service trailer over here, we can just bring this over to the garage. We'll go to the trailer store. So pull it back out and then we'll grab onto the front again and take it with us. We'll take a left at the highway. Garage is right around the corner and we'll turn in here. Oh, I busted it up a little bit more. That's all right. We'll bring it right over here to the trailer store. Now I can grab a service trailer. They didn't used to have these service trailers, so it's nice to use them once in a while. And we'll repair it and we'll refuel it. That's it. Complete. I'm gonna sell that trailer back. After this, we'll come back on the next episode and we'll get started doing some work here. Thanks everybody for coming out. Come back on the next one. We'll see you then. Looking forward to it. Thanks for watching.